Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today for this first ever Twinmotion 2019 webinar. My name is Martin, I'm product manager. I'm here to present you the latest version of Twinmotion. For those of you who don't know, Twinmotion is a real-time visualization software dedicated to architecture, and it's built on top of the Unreal. Today we'll divide this presentation in three parts. We'll first start with just showing you the teaser, the trailer that we released last week, so everybody is on the same page. And then I will dive into Twinmotion, showing you all these new major features that you saw on the trailer. And then at the end we'll make a Q&A session. So if during the presentation you have some questions, just make a note of them and I will take time at the end to answer all of your questions. So to start, let's just look back at the trailer that we released last week. Hope you like this quick presentation of Twinmotion. So now let's dive directly into what's new in this Twinmotion 2019. The first features that we introduce is what we call the Project Manager. The Project Manager is just some kind of standalone application that allows you to launch Twinmotion. It allows you to check if your project is up to date. So here, actually, let me just switch in the preference to English. So as I said, it allows you to check if your project is on the latest update. You can also download directly all your add-in for Revit, ARCHICAD, and even your key server. So it's just one place where you can find all things dedicated to Twinmotion. Here also we have some link to all the articles, the tutorials, and everything regarding the community. So it's just the Project Manager is basically a tool that allows you to be closer to the Twinmotion community. So now let's dive in Twinmotion. In Twinmotion, we can start with the library. We introduce some new objects in this new version. We'll start with a new pack of decals that you can find in the furniture's decals. And we have added more than 100 new decals dedicated to the roads, like you see on the road here with some asphalt patch, with some new road marking. We also have a lot regarding the parking slot. After that, we have some new tags. As I said, here is the asphalt patch, and we even have some road damage and moss, dirt, just more things to bring more realism to the surrounding of your project. After this pack of decals, we have created a construction pack. So to show you this, I will just open a phasing tool, and here I will just switch phase and enable my construction phase. On this construction phase, my right line over here has been closed because there is some work on the road. And on this construction pack, we have a few different things. We first have some new characters with their animation. We have some new vehicles, and we have some new objects. To find the characters, it's on the same location as it was before. You just open the character section, human, and if you scroll down, you will fall into those six workers over here. They all wear helmets. Some of them have some working clothes, and some of them are wearing more casual clothes and can act as an architect, for example. When you drag and drop one character, it's the same as every character with Twinmotion. It takes a random rotation, a random color preset, and a random animation. After this pack of characters, we have added, as I said, some new vehicles. As you can see on the background here, we have two new vans that can drive on the path, as you can see on the left here. We have, in the mist section, we have also some new animated objects, like the animated digger or the animated mixer truck and the bulldozer. The most important thing regarding this construction pack is all the items that you can see here. You can find them in the furniture's city. And if you scroll down, you have the construction folder. And all this pack of objects really act as a pack. So if I drag, for example, this object here, I can at any moment pick just one object if I want and move it around. It's not a fixed pack of objects. Each an individual piece of object can be moved around. After this construction pack, we have also worked on some new flags. These flags can be located in the library in the city folder, and if you scroll down, we have a new folder, flags. We have 7 different types of flags. To drag and drop one in the project is the same as every object in Twinmotion, just basic drag and drop. And directly in Twinmotion, in the installation folder of Twinmotion, we have put all the texture of all the countries in the world, and also some regions, and some events like the Olympic Games. To find all this texture, I will just click on the texture tab in the dock, click open, and by default it opens in this folder where you have access to all this texture. So this project is in the United States. It's even in Chicago. That's why we have some United States flag and some Illinois flags. To change the texture, to change the wind, as you can see here, there is some wind in the flag. I will just select my flag, click in the wind speed section. It's actually a shortcut that pushes me into the Nature tab, Weather, Effect. And here I have two options. The first thing is the wind speed. So for example, if I lower my speed to 0, there is no more wind in my flags. I just put just a little bit of wind. And here we can change the direction of the wind. It's a global direction. So here you can set you set the wind direction of the whole project. After this, I have a few interior objects to show you. So for this, I will just switch to a new demo scene, to the interior demo. So for this interior pack of object, it's some decoration object. We have some new frames, some new rugs. So to show you this, let me just move into my bedroom on the right over here. And here, as you can see on the wall, we have some new objects, like those frames over here. I have some on the floor over here. Those objects, you can find them in the Furnitures folder of the library, Home, Living Room, and at the bottom right, we have the Decoration folder. And here's all the new objects that we introduced with this version. The new frames, some shelves with frames on it, and at the end we also have some rugs, some carpet. With this new carpet we have also created a new material that you can see here, where you can see really the fiber of the cloth. And one of the new features that we introduced with this new version is also the ability to change material on any object from Twinmotion library. So for example, here my carpet is directly drag and dropped from Twinmotion library, but I can change at any moment this material. So let me just jump into the material section. I will scroll down to open the fabric folder, and at the end of the fabric folder we have those long pile carpet material. If I drag this on my carpet, as you can see, I can change material directly on Twinmotion native objects. These new materials, we have some new options, like for example, if I open up the settings, I can change the tiling of the fiber, and I can change the height of this fiber as well. After that, we also have completely reworked the user library. So if I open up the user library folder, now we can create folder directly in Twinmotion library, user library. You can create folder, you can rename them. So for example, let's just rename these materials. Let me just add this to my user library. And directly from the user library, you can organize, you can move your object around. So this material, I can just move it into my material folder. I can create a new one. Let's rename it Furnitures. And for example, let's just select this bed over here. And let me just right click and add to user library. And again, let's just move my bed in my furniture folder. So now we don't have anymore have to go out of Twinmotion to manage your user library. Everything can be done directly into Twinmotion. One new thing that you may have noticed on the back over here is the new reflection system that we have in Twinmotion. So to explain you this, I will just first remove the thing that make it pretty and explain you how a reflection works in Twinmotion. And it works also the same in every real-time application. In a real-time engine like we have here, everything that is present inside the reflection is what is present inside the viewport. So I have nothing behind my camera, that's why there is nothing in my reflection. But if I start to put my camera on the side like this, Because my object is present inside the viewport over here, I have this object inside my reflection. It's called the screen space reflection. So this is a limitation of the real-time technology that we are using. To balance that, we have created a new object that you can find in the volume section, a reflection probe. We have two new things, the sphere reflection probe and the box reflection probe. So let's just first start to drag a box reflection. So how is it working? Basically, the box reflection probe creates a 360 image from this point in the space, and it puts this 360 image in the reflection of all the objects that you can see in this square, as you can see here. So all these objects, which is affected by this box reflection probe, will have this new reflection inside it. So it's really an image, it's not a real reflection. So if I have a path of people walking on the background, I won't see those people walking. It's really a basic 360 image. After that, we have also added some new views that you can open from the top right corner. Click on the view icon, and here you can switch from the top, the left, the front, etc. And this is really a placing tool. So here I've just switched to the top view. We can use the clipping tool to clip through the floor and see the project from the interior. But as I said, it's really a placing tool to allow you to just view your project from the up view and place object like this. For the next thing, let me just open a new project again. It's the Norway exterior demo. Here we go. So with this new project, there is some new things, but I wanted to have an exterior project for the next features. So first, let me just create a new image. I will just maybe start to change the time of this image, switch to the night. Let some time for the global illumination to get to these higher results. And some new thing that we introduced with this new version is the new lighting dock. Actually, we already have some of these options. We just put them all together in the new lighting dock. And we have added a couple more options, like the moon power. We have added also some options regarding the phase of the moon, the intensity of the stars. But the most important one, I think, is the ambient occlusion slider. That allows you to raise the shadow created when faces touch together in the world. Next thing that we have, let me just maybe create a new image, and we click on the more visual effect, is the new clay render option. The new clay render option is basically an on and off option. Once you have enabled your clay render, the first option is a filter that can where you can select what is affected by your filter, by your clay render. So we can, for example, uncheck glass and water. We can, after that, for example, change the color of the clay render. And it's really, that's it. You can change also the translucency. It's not the transparency, it's really the translucency. It's how much the light comes through a material, but not if the material is transparent or not. We can, for example, also uncheck vegetation, or even uncheck everything except from the characters, for example. One new option that you may have noticed on the right over here is the new go back to media. For example, here I was in my media, I was creating a shot with the clay render on, and I drag and drop a character. Now I am in the selection dock of this specific character. I'm not anymore in my media. So this is just a basic shortcut to switch back to the media you were working on before. It's really just a basic shortcut. After that, I was already talk about that, so we have reorganized a few dock. For example, because we have added more options in the lighting dock, we have just take out of the weather dock all these lighting options and put them on a dedicated dock. In the localization dock, we now have a new compass that allows you to set up the north of your project more easily. We have also reorganized all the urban dock. So in the context dock, we can find the background and the automatic context generation from OpenStreetMap data. In the path section, you find all the paths together. Then we have two new options. The camera line is really a basic option. You enable your tool, and when you click on a geometry, the camera will just basically align to this geometry. So it's really simple, so I can align on the side over here. I can maybe also align on my window over here. So it's really a basic tool to align the camera. The last one here is the measure tool. So let's just come inside. To place a measure, I will just enable my tool, and as I move inside my viewport, you will see the measure moving with my mouse. At any moment, I can click in the viewport, it will drop one measure, and it will basically just perpendicularly to the geometry you are clicking, trace this measure, and once it touches an object, it will stop the measure. We can drag a new one, for example, here, last one over here. One thing that you can do as well, if for example you want to measure the diagonal of this room, we can here disable the constraint, select the ball at the end, and just move it on the diagonal over here. We can also change the take position, change the scale of my measure, and even change the color. Finally, let me just come outside to show you one of the most requested ones. So for that, I will just again create a new image. Maybe a bit more like this. Refresh my point of view. I will open the more section, camera settings, and now we have the perspective correction option. So it was the most requested feature from Twinmotion, so this is it, now we have it. Finally, a few options that I can't show you really much over here, so I will just talk about them. We have made a lot of optimization regarding the whole add-in. So for both ARCHICAD and Revit, we are now 2 times faster. We have added also a new option in those add-ins to collapse the geometry. So in Twinmotion, Twinmotion can handle millions of polygons, but it begins to get slow when there is tons of individual objects. So working with Revit and ARCHICAD, every piece of object is a separate object. And in those add-ins, we now have a new option that is called merge, which allows you to merge your geometry by, for example, type, materials, or family for Revit. And for example, in the latest project I was working on, I first imported the project without any collapse. So every object was a separate object, was an individual object. I was running on this computer, I was running around 7 frames per second, so it was really slow. And with the option on, I used the collapse by material option. That means that all my walls were sharing the same material, so once I imported my project, all my walls were just one big object. Same from my doors, from my windows, etc. And after I've collapsed all my geometry by materials, I was running at around 117 frames per second. So the gain is really huge regarding those add-ins. We have also created a new VR interface. You already have seen it in the trailer. So in this VR interface, we have some options like changing the time of day, changing the sun, the seasons, the cloud coverage. We can change call different phase. You can also call all the image and the panorama you have set up. And you can even change materials directly in virtual reality. So it's really a new way to immerse yourself into the project. You can switch to VR and work directly in virtual reality in your project. And some smaller features, but just wanted to mention them. First thing is now that the point of view of the camera when you saved your file is saved with your file. So it wasn't before. The camera was really away from the project. So now if I, for example, save my camera over here, once I open back my file, the camera will be here. We also have the possibility to loop paths. So this, I can show you this really quickly. If I create a path of characters, for example, a simple path, my last point, I can just snap it onto my first one and loop my path. So I won't see any more people spawning and disappearing at the start and at the end of the path. So that's pretty much it for all the new features introduced with this new version of Twinmotion. There is also some minor one, but you will be able to see them with the new changelog once you have installed the new version. So now I will stay here to answer all of your questions. So if you have some, you can start to ask your questions. And on the background, I will just switch back to the trailer. So can we measure in virtual reality? Not yet. Right now, in virtual reality, you can only change materials. You can also change the time of day and stuff like that, but you really don't interact with the geometry. And you can just change materials. But yes, right now, you can't measure in virtual reality, but it's something we have planned for the future. I will translate it because we are in English here, but can we put some grass as a material on objects? Right now it's still not possible, it's planned for the future. Can we create parallel view? So yes, now we have the new view option that allow you to switch to the top, front, left view, and you can create render of those views. Yes, it's possible. Yeah, I know, contact Estimos 57. Regarding the grass, I know there is some trouble with that. It's planned for the future to be able to just apply grass, 3D glass, using just some materials. It's something that we'll have in the future. Shadow bias, can you explain how it works? To show you this, I will just have to switch back to Twinmotion. Let me just change a few things. Okay, so back to Twinmotion. So there is a question regarding the shadow bias. The shadow bias, if you look at my wall over here, you can see there is some stripes, some black stripes that are appearing. It's very light, but if I change a bit the time of day, you can see those black stripes over here. And the shadow bias just remove all those type of stripes that you can see here. It's really when the sun is really close to when the sun is really how can you say that in English? Tangent. Not sure it's the English word for that, but when the sun is really tangent to the geometry, there is some artifact regarding the shadow. So using the shadow bias, you can remove those artifacts when the sun is really close to tangent to the geometry. Can we save images from top view with a proper scale like in Atlantis? No, right now it's not possible. How can I can import FBX motion from Maya? Right now it's not possible to import animated objects. It's planned for the future, but right now it's not possible. Is SketchUp 2018 file supported now? Yes, of course, we are compatible with the new version of SketchUp and also the latest version of Revit. Next one, in virtual reality, can we turn on and off the light? No, you can't interact really with the object. You can, for example, change a phase. So you can have a phase where you have the light on and a phase where you have your light off. So you can change your light this way, but you can't directly change the light by pushing the button of the light in virtual reality. How about the system requirements? It's the same as before. It doesn't require a better configuration. It's exactly the same as Twinmotion 2018. I'm deeply impressed. Thanks. We have worked hard on this new version, and we are really glad it's only coming in just a few days now. Can we create PBX materials? We can create PBR materials. I don't know what is a PBX material, so if you can explain what do you mean by PBX material? How about MP4 material for TV screen? Yes, right now it's a limitation of the Unreal Engine. I know it's a shame. It's something planned. We are just waiting for a small fix of the Unreal Engine to being able to give this feature to put this feature into Twinmotion. So it's something planned, but right now it's not in this new version. Can we have node to place library parts? I don't understand your question. Can we have node to place library parts? So if you can explain what do you mean by that? Any new terrain? No, we still have only two terrain, the flat one and the rocky grassland. But using the Sculpt tool, you can just create your own terrain, and with all the materials in Twinmotion library, you can create any kind of terrain. So right now there wasn't a huge need of new terrain, but it's something we know that we want to give for the future as well. Oh, there is a lot of questions. I will just make sure I don't skip anyone. Is there a grace period of 1 month for the normal Twinmotion license during this transition to Twinmotion 2019? So yes, with this new version you have a free trial like you had in Twinmotion 2018, but it's just a 20-day period. So yeah, you will be able to try this new version. The SketchUp synchronization, it's not something we have yet. It's something planned in the future. Right now we are focusing on ARCHICAD and Revit, stabilizing and giving more options and enhancing those two add-ins, but it's something that we will work in the future. Is the scatter object function back? Not yet, unfortunately, but it's something we have in mind for the future. It's something that is planned for the future. Right now it's still not possible. So PBR material, so yeah, Twinmotion, work with PBR material. So in Twinmotion, you can import your diffuse, normal map, roughness map, metallic map, glow map, and that's pretty much it. Yes, that's it. So yes, Twinmotion use the PBR material workflow. And if you want to know a bit more how you can create materials, on the Twinmotion website, in the blog section, we have a full article explaining you how to create those kind of PBR material, explaining you how to create the maps and how is it working directly inside Twinmotion. What are the new and important shaders? So the new important shader is, the most important one is the one that we have created for the clay render. The clay render. So you can enable the clay render as a filter, but you can also, you have inside Twinmotion library those materials that you can drag and drop on any object inside your project. So you can, for example, something that I did recently is I have my project full textures, and just the surrounding of the project I've applied to all the object on the surrounding these clay materials. So so it makes just my project pop in the center of the world. So yeah, there is those kind of shader. There is the new carpet, long pile carpet shader. There is some new modeling shader with some basic clay and carved wood. So that's it for the new materials. Will we be able to use video on TV? As I already told, right now it's not possible. It's something planned for the future, but right now it's still not possible. Is it possible to have 3D connection driver? Not yet. Not right now. It's still not possible to use a 3D mouse, but it's something it's something on the wish list. So it's something that we will come at some point, but it's not yet possible. Let me just check. I saw a few posts regarding the quality of the trees. It's also something that is planned for the future. We know there is here a bit of a problem regarding the quality and the realism of the tree. So it's something that we will work in the future definitely. How do you make flags float? Do you have the flags in the library? So yes, the flags directly, it's native from Twinmotion library. And so you just drag and drop a flag and it is floating. And on the flag you can just load any of your own texture if you want. But directly inside Twinmotion we have put more than 500 texture flags with all the flags of the country in the world, some regions, some events like the Olympic Games, stuff like that. So we have already a bunch of texture inside Twinmotion, but you can of course load your own map. Next one, are Electrica included in the library? Charge points. Are electric cars included in the library? So charge points. So we don't have any electric cars in the library, but you can import them. If you have a 3D model of a car and a charge point, you can just open it, import it and save it in your user library to use it for your project. But it's not something native in Twinmotion library. No grace period if you already bought 18 months or so for that I will let you check with the reseller where you have bought the new version of Twinmotion. So I don't know how is it working, but I will let you check with the reseller where you bought the Twinmotion. Will SketchUp 2018 format be supported? Yes, so now Twinmotion SketchUp 18 is supported, and when SketchUp 19 comes out, how soon will that be supported? So it really depends on when the new version of SketchUp will be released, because we have to wait until they don't release some kind of API that we can import and work on before they launch their new version. So once their new version is out, we'll start to work on it. So it's really depending on how when they release their new version. But for sure, when they release a new version, we'll work on it to be able to support it. Can we import animated FBX in Twinmotion? Not yet, not yet. It's something planned for the future, but not yet. Can you paint an object with the paint tool, like with the terrain? Will be super helpful when importing a terrain as geometry. If you are talking about the material, no, you can't paint a material like, for example, some rocks material. You can paint those material onto the geometry. You can only use the vegetation tool and repaint vegetation onto your terrain and onto your geometry, but you can't paint material. It's not something possible. It's the system that we are using that make it not possible. No price update, new price. Everything regarding the price will be put on the website the day Twinmotion launch on the 21 June. So we'll just have to wait a few more days to know all those marketing price information. Can doors be opened and closed? No, not right now. It's not possible right now. It's something planned also for the future. Can we expect SketchUp Live Sync in next update? We know that it's the next one we want to work on. It's the next add-in we want to work on. So it's something planned for the future, having a SketchUp Live Sync. I can't tell you right now when it will happen, but we know that we want to work on it in the future. Can you share some example file for interior? So yeah, we can. Right now it's not planned, but we can see if for example, in the website, we can maybe in the future add a new page where you will be able to maybe download a few different sample projects. So yeah, it's something we can think of for the future. I can't tell you when, so it won't be in the right now. It won't be tomorrow, but yes, in the future we can think of something like putting on the website some sample scene that you can download just to check to see how to set up your light and stuff like that. Oop, I skipped some questions. Is it working with Windows Mixed Reality headset? So yes, it's working. We already tried it in the office, so yes, it's working. Can we use Samsung Gear VR similar to Rift and Vive for immersive VR change material? So no, Samsung Gear VR is actually not really a virtual reality experience, because it's not real time. It's just a video that you can see or some 360 image, so you can't change material directly in a Gear VR because you are using your smartphone. To be able to change the material, you have to be in virtual reality, in real time, in the application, either in Twinmotion or either in the Beam Motion. But yes, you can't run such an application on your smartphone. So no, it's not possible. Will it be possible to animate video TV? I think it's the same time people ask this question. So right now, no, it's not possible to have animated material. It's something for the future, but right now it's not possible. Animated object is the same. Can we import animated object? It's the same as I already told. It's not possible right now. It will be for the future. What's new for virtual reality? You can look back at the trailer, but I will just explain you what is new. Before we were able just to navigate and visualize with the headset, so we have created a brand new virtual reality menu interface where you can change the time of day, you can change the months to make sun study, you can change the weather, the cloud coverage, the season, you can change phase, you can call different phase of your project. You can also call different point of view, image, panorama, and you can also directly change material in virtual reality, immerse in your project. So this is all the new option that we bring with this new version for virtual reality. Okay, you can get in on the beta program of SketchUp, of course. When you say in future, as new trees, animated big import, you are talking about 2020 or V2. I can't discuss about that. So we start to work on what comes next. But right now I can't tell you it's V1 or V2 or it's a new version. We know that in the future there is a lot of points we want to address. There is a lot of feedback from the community that we want to work on, but can't tell if it will be an update or a new version. Is it a new also there is a French question, is it a new update or a new license? So it's really a new software, it's not just an update of Twinmotion 2018, it's really Twinmotion 2019. But if you can also buy the privilege card that allow you to just buy basically the update to this new version. So you don't have to buy the whole software from scratch. You can just buy the update to this new version. Please add an option for use Unreal Engine asset in Twinmotion. So we are currently working on the option, on the ability to open your Twinmotion file in Unreal. So in the future you will be able to do that, like using Twinmotion like a quick prototyping tool, and then open your project in Unreal and keep working on your project. So you will be able to open your Unreal Engine asset like this. I'm just checking if there is a lot of questions that I've already answered, so I'm just reading through all of them and look at the new question. Can I add more furniture or objects? So yes, there is the user library, so you can if you have some 3D model, you can import your own model and save them directly in the user library, so you can have more furniture and object using your user library like this. Will you insert 3D grass material to not use the grass object? So I've already answered these questions. So right now it's not possible. It's planned for the future, but right now material can't cast 3D grass. Right now it's not possible. It's something we'll have in the future, but it's not possible. Can we save pictures in PNG? Yes, it's like in Twinmotion 2019 by default. We save the image in PNG. Material ID channel is not still appear. So yes, right now we still can't export material ID different layers. We know also it's something that will come for the future, but yes, right now it's not possible. Can I snap objects? When you drag an object from the library, it automatically snaps to the geometry you are putting it on. And once the object is inside your viewport, if you click on the middle yellow ball in the middle of the gizmo, you can also use the snap tool to snap your object on the geometry. but there is also a snap on the rotation, so you can snap on an angle when you are rotating an object. So there is this kind of snap, but there is not a grid, some kind of grid snapping option like you have, for example, in Unreal Engine. Oh yeah. Can we save picture in PSD? I understand now the question. So no, right now it's not possible. We export only as a PNG, but not a PSD. In virtual reality, can I change furnitures and walls color? So yes, of course. Because we have access to Twinmotion complete material library, you can change your material on whatever object you want, on your furniture, your wall. You can even, for example, create different phase, like for example a phase with some parquet on the wall and some furniture like a sofa, a red sofa, and then in a second phase you can have some different geometry with different material on it. So you can change your interior in virtual reality in two different ways. Will Twinmotion allow to take the standalone output for virtual reality? Yes, of course. Like it was possible with Twinmotion 2018, you can create a beam motion. So it's the standalone exe file, and you can use this file for to navigate in virtual reality. It's not mandatory to launch virtual reality from Twinmotion. You can also launch it from a beam motion. When we resync files on SketchUp after changing the project, some materials change to black color. Is it fixed? So yeah, we have also made some changing, especially with the latest version of SketchUp. So the latest version of SketchUp. So yeah, there is some new changes regarding the material with SketchUp. Yes. Regarding the filters, except from the new clay render, there is nothing new here. But well, yes, the main new thing is the new filter mode, which allows you to create the clay render. Parallel projection is also for render, or only for the viewport, I think you meant to say. So yes, you can also export is also for render, but as I told during the presentation, we have created this feature really as a placing tool. So for example, there is no shadow inside those parallel views, so it's really a placing tool. You can also export them if you want, but yes, it's possible. I'm a beta tester for 3ds Max. Do you have a beta test program in Twinmotion 2? So yes, we have a beta test program, but it's really how can I say? We only have a few users, and it's a few dedicated users that we used to work with, and it's not a really big beta with a lot of people. So it's really a closed beta program. Any animation for rendering? For example, the effect going from drawing to 3D. So no, right now it's not possible. The filter is only for the whole clip. Yes, right now it's not possible to switch from different filter inside one clip. It's not possible indeed. What about flags? How many flags are there in 2019? So there is 7 different type of flags. Let me actually just open back Twinmotion, it will be more simple. So the flags, it's in the furniture, city, flags. So this is all the different type of flag that you can have in this new version of Twinmotion. We have some flag that you can put on the wall. We can have some one that can be put on the ground. We have some more advertising flags, and this is the one we have in the library. But once you select a flag and you click on the texture open, here you have access to more than 500 of texture, and here is all the country flags, region. We also have the Olympic Games. So you have access to all those flags, all those textures directly inside Twinmotion. GIF image can be imported now, it can't. We have planned to work on the MP4, but the GIF it's not planned. BeamMotion support VR for Mac as well, so yes, of course. It's really the same software for both Mac and PC. You will just have to have a great GPU for Mac, that's it. What about technical support for licensed user? Where we can get support answer on the support platform? So you can directly on the Twinmotion website you can create some ticket, and you will be able to get in touch with the support that will answer all the technical question and the trouble that you are facing with this new version. What about the minimum requirements? So it's the same as Twinmotion 2018. So it's exactly the same. So if in the past you were running Twinmotion 2018, it's exactly the same. Any shortcut to focus on particular object when selected? Yes. For example, if I select my flag over here and I am far away from that project, if I press the F shortcut, I will focus on this object. And also, if you go onto the help and on the shortcut, here you will have access to all the shortcuts of Twinmotion. It will open, not sure if it's a PDF or it's a web page. It's a PDF. So yeah, if you go onto the help shortcut, here you have all the shortcut of Twinmotion. You have access to all the shortcuts. The human engine has been modified to preserve from collision. No, we use the same system from. We use the same system for our path system. Right now there is no collision avoiding. It's something we'll work in the future, but right now you have to just create some paths that doesn't overlap. Or do you plan integration of Anima tool? So now we have no plan to integrate Anima. It's our own system. We have planned to enhance it. We have a lot of plans for it actually, but yeah, same. It's something we will work on the future. Where we can see the movement of the stars. So yeah, the stars is animated. They are moving. I don't know what is the question regarding the star. We can now change the intensity of the light of the stars. Is there more pets and animals? No, there is not. There is no more. There is not some new animals. Is it possible to export the sounds? Right now, no. The sound is really for the real time, so for the BeamMotion, for when you are working on Twinmotion. It's not right now possible to export those sounds in a video. What type of processor needs to work with? I think you are talking about the processor. So Twinmotion use mainly the GPU, so you have to have a great GPU with a lot of VRAM, but it doesn't use a lot of the processor. More dog and cat, so now there is not some new animals. Regarding depth of field, any enhancement? No, it's the same as there is nothing new regarding the depth in this new version. Any updates on UVs? Don't know what you mean about that. There is. Let me check. There is nothing new regarding the UV of the materials. Yeah, nothing really new regarding the UV. We have made some changes, but it's just the way we handle the materials to optimize it. But there is nothing really. There is no new option regarding the UVs. Is there elevator? Right now, it's kind of a trick. So you can, for example, you can select your elevator, save it inside your user library, and use a custom path to animate your elevator. It will just move up and move down. So it's possible. It's not the most simple thing. It's really a trick actually. The custom path is really to animate an object like a plane taking off, stuff like that. But you can use it to create an elevator. But we have planned to work on stuff like this, like the elevator or the doors, especially in the future. So regarding the human engine, there is nothing new here. Right now, there is still nothing new regarding the collision. So you just have to create the paths that doesn't overlap each other. But we have a lot of plan in the future to work on all the path system. But right now, there is nothing new here. Beautiful, I love this software. Make our work so much easier. Thank you very much. Thank you, Basilo. It's really kind of you. Can you change texture on any objects? Yes. Now you can change materials on any object, even the native object from Twinmotion library. It's still right now. For example, you can change material on the characters or the cars or the trees because it's blocked in the code for this kind of object. But every object, like a sofa, a piece of furniture, all those kind of objects, you can change their materials now. Can we add more people, human, from Axis library in Twinmotion library? You can't add animated characters. You can add, I think they call them the ready posed characters. You can add some ready posed character from Axis and save them directly inside your user library. You can do that, yes. More tutorials from Twinmotion. So yes, it's something that is planned for the future. We'll add some more tutorials and more quick tips. It's something we'll work on it in the future. Sorry. In some other... In some advertisements, I see they do their work using Twinmotion, but with using real cars models and more objects. How they can make that? In Twinmotion, you can import your own model as you import your own project. So if you have an FBX of a car or a chair, you can just import your object, just your chair, just your car. You can save it inside your user library, and you can use them as any object from Twinmotion library. So you can create your own library with any model you want directly in Twinmotion. Is Twinmotion compatible with HTC Vive Pro? We didn't try it yet, so I don't know why it won't work. It should be, of course, but right now I can't tell you. Yes, we have tested it. So right now we didn't have it, so we didn't test it. How does Twinmotion works with HoloLens? So right now it doesn't work with HoloLens. It's not compatible with augmented reality device, only virtual reality device. We plan. Hi, Yuri. Sorry for your. We plan to sell your product in Ukraine. If you have some questions regarding the sales, you can write an email at sales@upvent.com. You will be in touch with the person that take care of all the sales, and you will be put also in touch with all the people regarding the support if you have some more dedicated questions. So yes, if you have a question regarding this, sales@upvent.com. Could we put our imported object into moving paths so they can move? So yes, you can do it. You just have to save your object inside the user library and then drag it back into your project in a custom path. So yes, it's possible. I used to do that with a sliding door of a store I was working on. So I just took my door with my door panel with the glass. I saved it inside my user library. I've created a custom path, and I've just put this door on my custom path, and it make me my door open, sliding just from left to right. Any plan to monthly accounts? No, right now. We have only perpetual license right now. The new box reflection has effects only in a single room. I apply her in all the projects, in all rooms. So regarding the box reflection, you can use it. You can use it wherever you want. I'm used to. I was working here on a really small room, so that's why I've just put this this box in the inside with a small radius. But you can also put some of them on the exterior with a big radius, so it affects the whole project. So it really depends on what you are working on. For example, if you have a really big building with lots of glass on the exterior, you don't have to put one reflection probe per piece of glass. You just put one reflection box in the middle of the project, and it will affect all the glass. Can you import your own terrain in .xyz file format? So yes, it's possible. It was already possible in Twinmotion 2018. We also make some improvements regarding the terrain and all the import your own terrain thing, but yes, it's possible. Some congratulations. So thanks everyone for the congrats. Do you plan to import point clouds? So yes, it's possible to import a point cloud file, but only for terrain. So it will act as a topographic survey. For example, you can import this point cloud file, and it will act as a terrain, but not for the geometry. You will have to use a converter that will really create a mesh if you have a really complete project in a point cloud file. Any new particles? No, nothing new in the particle section. Could we use movies for materials? So no, still not. Top view will show only sketch mode. Yes, that's it. On the top view, it's some kind of sketch mode. It's not. There is no shadow. It's really a placing. It's really a placing view. Is it possible to get better rendered image with more passes, more GI, more bounce, etc.? Right now it's not possible. We still have the same quality that we have in the viewport, in the export. In something we want to address in the future, but right now it's not possible. Can car model from Revit move like Twinmotion car library? You can animate them like using the custom path. It's something you can do like this, but it won't react to the path system we have in Twinmotion. Here only our cars will react to the path system. You can only use the custom path. The shifting panorama views works only on TwinLinker. I'm not sure what you mean by the shifting panorama views. If you can be more explicit on that. Yeah, doesn't understand what you are meaning by the shifting camera, the shifting panorama. How can I reset delete user library? So now you can manage your user library directly inside Twinmotion. So you can create folder, you can rename them, you can delete them. In the previous version, you have to go to your documents, and here you have your user library, and you can manage it directly in Windows. So now we have made some improvements, so you can manage them directly inside Twinmotion. In Twinmotion 2018, I had problem in night and lights that the program starts to plug. Is that the problem is still there? So right now it's a bit vague. It doesn't understand really what were all your problems. We've made a lot of improvements, so it may be fixed, but with the explanation, I doesn't understand what was your problem. Congrats on the software. It makes our work a lot easier and pressing the client. Thank you a lot, Leandro. I will pass the congrats to all the dev team. Can we start a move at a defined point in time? No, everything in Twinmotion is animated at any time, so you can't fix the path and all that stuff. So now you can't really start a move at a definite point in time. Is it possible to design all street signs on the floor following a custom path? I don't understand the question. Is it possible to design street signs? Yeah, I don't understand the question. How about the quality in virtual reality? So it's the same as Twinmotion. We have 4 different quality mode: low, medium, high, and ultra. So if you have a really good graphic card, you can switch to ultra, and it will be the same quality that you have that you saw during my demo in my viewport. And really, depending of your GPU, you can just switch to lower quality. What about Russian language? Right now, yes, it's not in Russian. With this new version, we have Japan. We have now Japan, but it's something we can have in the future. Will we have a demo version as previous version? So yes, as always, Twinmotion have a 20 days period demo version. So you will be able to try it, and it will be released the 21 of June. So in just 3 days. Yes, this first day. In animating cars, can we do stop and go in intersection? No, it's not possible. Right now it's not possible. It's something we want to work on in the future, but right now it's not possible. Can I catch things in virtual reality like books or other stuff? No, right now in virtual reality you can just interact with your project by changing material or changing the sun and the seasons. You cannot change anything regarding the geometry, like the position, place object. It's something we want to address in the future, so it will be possible. We'll have some option like this in the future, but right now it's not possible. I would love a license that will be able to transit between 2 computers. It's already possible. You can, where it is in the help section, you can click on the license information, and you can deactivate your license and reactivate it on your laptop. I used to do that when I was, especially like you were talking, like going to a meeting to see my client. So you can check out your license, deactivate your license, activate it on your laptop, and do the same process in the other way when you are going back to your office. Virtual visits work only with TwinLinker accounts. So the panorama that you are creating with Twinmotion can be used with whatever you want. You can host them on any device that can handle 360 panorama. You can host them, for example, on Facebook. There is some tutorials on how to upload a panorama on Facebook. There is some other application that where you can create a virtual visit. But yes, inside TwinLinker, you can also create your own virtual visit and share it. But the panorama is not only for TwinLinker. You can use it with whatever solution you want. Is it possible to trace in the software the road marking on the ground like a curved path? No, it's not possible. I understand your concern, so right now it's not possible. Something that we will plan in the future. Right now we just have to place them manually one by one. Can the neon material work like neon light, similar like in Atlantis? So right now, no. The neon material doesn't emit any light. It's something that's not possible in real time. It's a limitation of the system we are using. So yes, it's not possible. When there will be a plugin for ARCHICAD 22 with the launch of the new version, there will be a plugin for the new ARCHICAD version. What is the device we can use for virtual reality? You just need a good graphic card. So here I'm running on let me check. It's a Quadro P5000, so it's a great graphic card. There is some better one. So yeah, for virtual reality you just need a great GPU with a lot of VRAM. Can we put any material on native object, like for example wood on an original glass table? Yes, of course. Now, so it's one of the new features. So now you can change the material on native object. Do we need a new license for 2019? If we already so yes, it's a new software, it's a new version, it's not an update. But you can also I think it's using the privilege card, so you can buy the privilege card and it will automatically update your previous version with the new one. You don't have to buy a complete new version. Thank you, Lurie, for the congrats. Support to HTC Vive Pro. We didn't try it, so can't say. I don't know why it couldn't work, but we didn't try it. Yeah, I know that. MP4 materials, we know that it's something that we have to work on. Right now it's a limitation of the system we are using of Unreal Engine, but regarding all the feedback, I think there is already 20 people that were asking for this just in this QA, so we know that it's something we want to have in the future, we need to have in the future, so it will be possible in the future. Is it possible to import EOS files for LAMP? Yes, it's possible to import your own EOS file. Is there a new type of lamps? No, there is nothing new here, but you can import your own lamps. As I already told, you can import your own object, your own lamps, and save them directly in Twinmotion user library. Will there be option to upgrading to the 2019 version? So yes, using the privilege card, you don't need to buy a new version, so you can just buy the privilege card and you will have the update to the new version. Do we have a road texture model in Twinmotion? We can create or import a proxy model to reduce the... What? Do you have road texture? So in Twinmotion there is some asphalt texture, concrete asphalt for the roads. Can we create or import a proxy model? And no, you can't use any proxy. What you can do is import the whole project and just hide some part of it when you are working in Twinmotion. So last year I was working on a huge stadium with a lot of railings, and the railings is really heavy in terms of polygons. It was, I think it was around 100 million polygons just for the railings. So when I was working in Twinmotion, I just hide all the railings and it was running like a charm, and just when I was creating my render, I just pressing the I button to switch the railing on again. Can we deactivate shadow for some kind of object? No, it's not possible. It's on all the time for every object. Is there new backgrounds? No, there is nothing new on the backgrounds. So I think that's it. We kind of reached the end of the Q&A. This live will be on the YouTube channel, so if you want to watch it back, you will have access to this presentation. And if there is not some new question, I really hope you like this quick presentation of Twinmotion 2019. I invite you to join our Facebook page, especially the Facebook user group and the Twinmotion page. We have a great community here that's just growing. And some just new question before I leave you. We'll be able to personalize background and make some 3D insertion. So it will be possible in the future. Right now, there is nothing new here. And thank you. I saw a lot of compliments for this new version. So I will take all these compliments and send them to all the dev team, and I'm sure they will be pleased. So really, I hope you like this presentation. There will be one in French this afternoon, and also one other one at 5 p.m. Still today in English. So if you have more questions or if you want to watch it back, please feel free to join. And thank you everyone, and I wish you a good day. Bye.